shit. This is what I really want. Okay, hold on. We're going to be jamming today, guys, about, it's Andrew with Phynyx, and we got a lot to cover, but he was just giving me the inside scoop on two big things. Okay, first, let's start with Google and AI. I heard that it crapped the bed with their Performance Max stuff, and that people are getting shitbagged with fake bots that are signing up for stuff. I've seen that it's fucked and tanked the search and the SEO side of stuff. But what was your scoop on Google stuff?
So you are right. It's the AI-driven spam. Remember a couple of weeks ago, or whenever we had a last call, I talked about we caught one of the most latest, greatest bots. It made it.
It actually had a name. Yeah, right.
Had a name, and but no, like Google SEO and Google Ads took a shit in April. Like I've had 14 calls this week. This is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look, that's why I'm so tired. Like. Docs who are dedicated on SEO, Google ads, their leads went to zero for since April.
Yeah,
huge collapse, and it's like
I've had people. I shout out to my boy Dr. Aaron in Colorado that has had. I mean, this is why I think having one or two growth engines is stupid, because you can't anymore. You can't. So he's like he's always had great. I mean I would love to shout out the guy he worked with because he's great, but he was kind of a dick to me. So I'm gonna fucking just not. But he's good at SEO. That's the shame thing. But even he was like, dude, he's like, I have no fucking clue, like what's going on. And then I did not hear about the Facebook forums crashing. What was this?
Because of the way Phynyx operates and the way we keep such a high and tight hold on things, but Facebook lead forms broke at the end of April. Like completely broke.
For like a long extended period, or
it's not fixed. It's not fixed. Now we do things. If you run ads, fine. This is generic. You can go Chat GPT this, but it's like we build out from the beginning lead forms and landing page campaigns fully overhauled.
So you can get pixel. Yeah.
So we can bounce back and forth depending on which works on the market. Great.
Yeah.
Lead forms, leads click on the ads, fill out the form, find a time that works best for them. That's why Phynyx has a 54% or higher appointment request rate. We fuck with the algorithms to make it work. Lead forms broke. They no longer. They click on the form, they click on the ad, fill out the form. That's our job. But lead forms, they click submit, and it broke. It was cycling, and it's still not fixed. It's hilarious. We caught it literally 72 hours into it, and we didn't realize we thought it was one or two. It was across the board. It is no longer a tool we even use. Holy shit. And so, like, I've had 8 different offices. One guy was running his own ads for 6 to 8 months, doing real good, but he was leveraging lead forms because, like you said on the beginning before the call, like AI is really cool, but their bullshit doesn't work yet. It's not there. Like,
well, I did like the update that Facebook did do with lead forms, which is the validation of the SMS stuff, and I was like, that makes sense. But I mean that's breaking news over here. So I think you guys heard it first. I feel like Edward Murrow here today.
They do SMS really validation. Old. The problem is anything that's Advantage Plus and all that. Like, if you're a contractor in this market, you've received a phone call from one of the thousands of 1099 contractors from Meta telling you how they can help your stuff. I've talked to 6 of them, and they're all talking out of their ass. But
they all say use Advantage Plus. Yeah.
Facebook is designed to do 2 things. That's
Make money
and collect data. And it wants you to give you just enough once it's learned how to keep you invested. The problem is we don't want them to learn how, because that's
that's what Phynyx does really well, is it stays ahead of the Facebook game and the algorithm and fucks it up.
But holy shit, you know what I think's funny? I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook's lead form, their new roles, was connected some way to Google Forms or Google servers. It boom boom. It's painful. And then it's just we've had so many calls where Google SEO guys, the shitty cookie cutter ad companies they've been with for 2 to 3 years, it was great. Their ads are gone to zero.
Yeah.
Like if you,
Yeah.
holy hell! Like knock on wood, unless shit's broke, we haven't had one client go. Like we've seen collapses. We've seen where payment methods collapse because Amex is a communist, but it's wild. And of course, LA's
it's funny, man. I switched. You were talking to me offline before we got on this about, you're like, you do Google. I've moved a lot of people over to Google local service ads, which is the model of pay per lead. And they have systems in place that prevent being charged if it's a bot or it's spam or if it's an existing patient. It's not perfect. But it's the same thing I see in a lot of markets where it's like if it's a rural market and there's a large capture area, performs better. Saturated markets, you're getting a lot of the bullshit. So, I mean, I love this conversation about growth engines because I think I was talking to someone the other day about it's like a baseball team. You can't, I think what Phynyx does really, really well is it finds the Aaron Judges and the Giancarlo Stanton's, like the guys that are going to hit 50 home runs, hit 350, get you into the playoffs, and you need those studs. Like Phynyx is a stud creator to me, right? Like Phynyx creates the stud ballers that you're like, hey, dude, and it's like, to me, if like even if I'm doing other stuff, I should have Phynyx on as one of my teammates, right? And if I don't have the ability to have other stuff, I should just have Phynyx because that's the home run maker. Like that's where Phynyx I see really wins across the board. Like, but there's the other side where you have to have, and I haven't really watched the Yankees. I'm using Yankee names because that's the baseball I know. But back in the old days, like you had Paul O'Neill's and Scott Boras, and you had Scott Brocious, and you had even Luis Soto, and these guys are getting 280, and they're not going to hit more than 15 home runs. Fuck, Luis Soto wasn't going to hit any home runs, but you need to have some of your growth engines like your business-to-business plays, your referral campaigns. You cannot be just reliant anymore, unless you only have the capacity. That's what I'm saying. Where Phynyx comes in, it's like, dude, if you only have the capacity to put and invest in having an Aaron Judge, then go get Phynyx to be your Aaron Judge. Like, because that's what you guys do super well. If you can afford to have Aaron Judge and a couple other platforms, by all fucking means, do that too. But you can't. If you're scaling out, you can't have just 2 growth engines anymore in this day and age.
Or if you're wasting more than $1,500 in Google ad spend or SEO spend.
Oh, that's a good point.
Jesus.
Well, spending any money in Google SEO right now.
Yeah. I mean, SEO, there's still hope, but like, or if you have a market, if you're sitting in a chiropractic office or any business and you're within a 25-mile radius, there's about 15,000 people. We need to have a conversation about the proper way to do it because, like, we come out of the gate really hot. Like, it feels really good when we have like 30 people walk through the door in 45 days, but then, we hit creative ad fatigue in 18 days on one market.
Oh, wow.
That means literally there was 18,000 people per the census data. We had 26,000 people see their ads almost 70,000 times in 18 days.
Yeah.
Produced tons of leads, but like it's, they're getting mad. The client got mad at me because they sent us like a half a dozen photos, but like, come on guys, like if you pass by the same dead restaurant 30 times in a week, eventually it becomes invisible. We got to diversify, and there's no point in wasting Google SEO in that market. It's just, I think the crazy thing that's coming, and no one realizes it, is that AI is truly going to be a force to be reckoned with. To where
we were talking about that. Yeah, keep going. Yep, keep going.
What I'm getting more feedback. We have an office, in Virginia. He's getting more Facebook calls to the front desk asking, "Hey, I saw your ad on your Phynyx ad on Facebook."
Not going through the actual ad. Yeah.
Is this real?
Oh, well, that's actually good for you.
Oh, I mean, totally cool. I mean, he signed up. He had 20 in the last 19 days. He's had 23 people walk through the door. He closed 18 of them. What a deal! But it's like, I'm over here like, well, I really wish they'd click on the fill out the form.
Yeah.
but we could track it. But I think that's kind of the game, brother. It's a wild, crazy ride right now because like AI is getting its legs. It's past the infancy stages, but the problem is most people who are taking advantage of it are the spammers faster than we are. And because if you're legal and legit, we have to deal with compliancy issues related to AI.
Well, you hit where I wanted to hit, which was AI. I thank you for that. I have two more questions for you today.
Okay.
We're going to start with personal branding. What is your favorite movie, actor, and actress, and why?
On a Friday night or a Monday night?
Let's go both. Let's go Monday first.
Monday night I'm a John Wayne. The accent gives it away. I'm a John Wayne El Dorado. I could watch it all day long, every day in the background on loop. But otherwise, I think Kingdom of Heaven probably is a pretty solid one.
I love that movie.
Throw a little pullback there, but yeah, the director's cut.
The next thing we're talking about is chiropractic news. I'm gonna give you get to pick. I'm gonna give you a toss up. We can talk about the recent news about I almost died after my chiropractor tore an artery while cracking my neck. That's going all over right this week in the last couple of days. Or we could go business style. Your call. Maryland Chiropractic, and I think this is up your alley too. But a recent chain was just sold to the roll-ups are happening in chiropractic. So this is literally in Virginia yesterday. Heard in Virginia-based RX Wellness Spine and Health, acquired by a Maryland chiropractic chain with 4 locations. RX Wellness bought All Care Chiropractic and All Care Injury, which have clinics in Baltimore, Silver Springs, and they raised $15 million. It looks like so we're in this. So your pick. You want to talk about strokes and chiropractic? You want to talk about buying up and scaling clinics?
Well, I'm gonna stay away from the strokes and chiropractic as far as I can. So let's do the business one.
All right. So what your background, and I think this props you up well, dude. I love that. When you see this happening, we are at the stage now where dentistry was 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like roll-ups, multiple clinics being purchased. I just posted about the Joint doing their buyback on the stock program. We're in a different era. This isn't. We're moving out of the small business chiro, which is great and bad and scary and exciting, right? Like, what's your take on where we're at in the business world of chiropractic today, and what do you think about clinics getting bought up in multiple locations like that?
The one you're talking about in Maryland is a small fish compared to like the one that's rolling through Texas like a hammer. What they're seeing is that while chiropractic is a divided profession, they also know that with this economy that we survived 2020. However, they're also taking advantage of like wellness-based, membership-based programs right now nationally. I don't know if you keep a temper on this, are all struggling. There's not one franchise that I've discussed or met with or talked to related to the gym industry that's even profitable right now across the entire franchises. So what they're doing is they're buying out blocks and locks because they know if they roll systems procedures they can basically buy them for pennies on the dollar and then roll. There's a group out of Texas. It's a full investment group. They're buying individual chiropractors completely out, rolling branding. And that's so, like, in my life, I had the luxury of selling, hospitality chains and franchises. I've done SaaS companies. I think what they're doing is they're consolidating enough to where they can have multiple brands. They're taking it's kind of like if you ever stay at Choice brand hotels. Well, that's what they're doing. They're taking a playbook that's established 40, 50 years back. They're buying up small mom and pops. It's like 3 or 4, the guys who don't have real good legacy planning because the kids didn't decide to become a chiropractor.
And they're going to steal a deal, and they're getting a great, so.
For pennies on the dollar. You can ask Austin Cohen how much it costs to launch a new clinic. It's about $100,000 to $150,000 on a pinch if you want to do more than just adjusting. And they're rolling these systems in play. And they're getting that way. What they're doing is they're buying up in lots so that way they get a large enough venue. They're out there. If they can topple 600 units and become the number one conglomerate, even multiple brandings, they'll turn around and go public and launch that as a unit to capitalize on it, and then they'll either liquidate it or they'll let them ride. It's scary
Dude.
from a perspective of, April and May, not like historically, like the 7 to 10 years I've been paying attention, has been one of the peak months of the year for chiropractic.
And it was completely reversed this year. Yeah.
This year is completely reversed. Doesn't help that AI's and Google Ads is shaking to shit. Doesn't help that LA's on fire again. Again. So I think
and Trump and Musk are breaking up.
Well, yeah.
I'm
we'll
just
stay
joking.
away from that one too. Publicity is a thing, but I think what the world.
You think it's a work? Hold on. You think it's a work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
You've already seen, like, you watch them there. Elon Musk is posting positive, like posting back up to stuff. They know what the hell they're doing. I think what's happening is
it's like professional wrestling, man, for me.
I think they know what's coming. There's a financial shift in the U.S. and it's going to hurt all of us.
Yeah.
And I think if there's big fish in the pond that are connected well enough, they're going to buy out as much as they can while the costs are low. Because if they can weather the storm, then they'll come out in 27, 26, 27, or 2030, and it'll be a whole new ball game. But we have to survive the next 9 months of this financial shift in the economy. And what kind of weird marketing chiropractor pays attention to this shit? Well, I do, because we cannot get lost.
Well, that's why you're the only one I can have this conversation with, dude.
Yeah, so it's like the 14 calls I had this like today and yesterday, 6 of them were past the point of saving because they called me last measure. They called to a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like I've sent 3 people to help them. I had more conversation today about helping people get emergency financing so that we can even consider launching. I'm not expensive.
Yeah.
If you can't keep the damn lights on, I don't care how many people I can send through your door if it takes 7 to 10 days to launch. So it's been a weird month, weird wild year. It's going to get worse. Think 2008 and COVID had a baby. That's what I'm looking at preparing for. And,
this fourth quarter is giving me algia.
I think fourth quarter is going to be a turn. I think I'm okay with that. I'm waiting for the 2008 side of things because I'm in my little lease building space. As soon as the market collapses for commercial, I'll go ahead and buy a building and put my office in it. What a deal!
Well, there's the good side of it. Always a downer, and no, just joking.
No, Jesus, here's the game.
Joking.
We're coming into. It sounds so bad. We're coming into a time where, like, it's going to be we're coming into summer. I don't care about who you are. Summer drops. But I think the biggest thing is, like, I've been telling clients.
My analysis is that we're going to go up this. I think a lot of chiros are going to have great summers. Actually, that's why
they can get their campaigns launched and away from Google launch by July 15th and fund the shit out of it. They'll have the best Q4 they've had in a year or two. Yeah. But you have to get ready because it's time. Like I'm telling people, our clients, we're having clients roll back ad spend right now, and to get ready for mid-July to ramp up and double daily ad spend for 45 days, because we want 15 to 20x ROI going into Q4, and then ride the wave down through Christmas. But
well, thank you for being one of the only dudes I can have this conversation with, man. I appreciate it. And
I like the new app, by the way. It's fancy.
Well, it allows us to do some cool stuff, so I can easily cut up and do shorts and reels with this, and I can auto upload into Spotify, YouTube, and it just makes doing this not a pain in the ass for me on a one-man journey, So there's some good shit with AI. This has got some good shit, but it's not perfect. Dude, where are you gonna be? Is there any place you're gonna be next? Are you going anywhere? Like any event, seminar, or?
I'm looking at the big one in Florida. I got a lot of clients down there running PI based stuff, and I'd love to hit the big CE event there. I'm trying to figure out. I got to message Dan or Jen with C4C. I need a refresher since I'm probably going to relaunch my little clinic. Making $30,000 months is cool. I'd like to hit 70 and then do something different. But so yeah, it's C4C sounds cool. Definitely going to pop a CE class probably in Florida because it's ginormous, like 5,000 coming there. I like to fish anyway. And then I think in the summer I'm going to try. If Dan and them don't get me up there in Chicago, I'm going to probably go visit California. We got a couple of offices out there that are killing it, and I would love to go and visit and shake hands, kiss babies, see the Pacific Ocean, do that kind of stuff.
And watch LA burn.
It's not burning. That sounds like a good idea too. Can you imagine my accent?
Well, no, they love you out there, man. They're all into the California. I mean, I did it for the years I did it, and it was weird enough. But I think I hear Billy might have Cal Jam back, so that might be good for you. If it's not this year, it's next year. So, dude, you should get to Mile High. Yeah, that should put on your radar. I'll tell you what, man. September in Denver, with all yeah. Well, the thing is, man. I'll tell you this, and Danny will love hearing this, but it does have one of the best bar after party scenes. That was one of the reasons I always go. So, me and Austin Cohen did a after hours at the last C4C. I think it was the first time Dan was like, holy shit, did you take a photo of that? Everyone's hanging out because usually everyone leaves. And I did a good job this time of being like, no, I'm your party master. Just come hang out with Twisty. I got mushrooms. I got Molly. I got whatever you want. And but because these guys like to party. So Denver is a good party one. But I always had a good time. I'd love to see you in person again. If you can make it to August in Chicago. Yeah. Drinks are on Austin. So
that's right. He's probably got one of the best cutting edge softwares coming out defining what true PVA and black holes are. I'm really excited to see what the next iteration looks like. Really, really.
Well, if you guys could get together with stuff, I think integrations with what you're doing and what he's doing would be powerful for everybody.
I already told him not to threaten me with a good time because he's the closest one out there who's got it figured out. And I think the next iteration of the software is going to be a game changer for Chiros. It's going to be awesome.
Well, dude, I love what you're doing with staying ahead of the game with people that want to either get their Aaron Judges, you want to have your home run hitter with Phynyx, or if it's the only bat that you have at play, you got options, but really limited out there. But the two best options, one is Phynyx, the other is Phynyx. If you read what I'm saying, guys. Let me love to you, man. I'll jam with you later, dude.
Yeah, brother. We'll see you next time.
Bye.